If you don't vote in favor of every single one of these indictments, you don't trust the police. You think that they're liars, etc. That's terrible. I mean, that happened at trial too.
Yeah, and the way to inoculate that is in jury selection to say, okay, so you're driving down the road, you see a cop pulling someone over and somebody, doing this or doing a walk and turn. What do you think? Hey, that guy is doing what? He's a drunk driver, right? You never think, you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment. No, like, we're naturally inclined and we should be judgmental of everything we see. We should always be having good judgment. We should be judging things. Like, you see something that looks like a dangerous situation, I'm not going to ask for a trial. I'm not going to be like, you know what, you're looking at me, I'm feeling something like, like when you get that look in somebody's eyes, they mean violence. Like that look a man can give that's like, all right, this is not ending well, versus, oh wait, he was just, had indigestion or something and he wasn't really being mean. Like, why take the risk on a dark night? Right?
No, I mean, you don't say, well, okay, I have to make sure, like, I'm gonna wait until I'm beyond a reasonable doubt that he's gonna attack me, go across the street. Or if somebody's acting weird, you say, okay, I'm gonna go now.
That's the problem with the criminal justice system, is nobody sits around and proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It is not in our human nature. No one has done that. So you have to not just give them these platitudes like, what does proof beyond a reasonable doubt mean? Oh, it means, I'm convinced to a moral certain. Like, no, like, give me a framework, give me a rubric for processing that information. And that's what I'm going to do by the way I phrase my questions to the jury. So when you get to the presumption of innocence, all right, so innocent unless and until proven guilty. You can walk through that whole process. So sitting here, why does that process even exist? Well, you let the jurors teach the other jurors. You'll have basically a civics class. Oh, that exists because the government's really powerful and we don't want to give away our liberties, and we got to protect the people. You get great things about liberty. People talk about the Constitution. Is there another system we could do? Like, we could presume someone's guilty unless and until they prove themselves innocent. Who thinks that would be a good idea? Somebody raises their hand. It's like, all right, ma'am, that's a completely valid opinion to have. There's essentially billions of people on planet Earth that live in totalitarian regimes that maybe they get a chance of doing that, and get the fuck out of here, commie. And you kind of pick on them a little bit, and that's not really the conventional wisdom. But if someone has an adversarial position that is evil, like injustice, fuck that juror. Use them as a foil, like call them out, in a respectful way.
Yeah.
It can be kind of, funny and humorous at the same time, but you got to call out those people because they exist, and nobody's ever, if they feel that way, they're not going to tell you the truth usually. And most people don't have an opinion. So they're easily convinced that it's actually a good idea. So you can actually take people that, they're not out debating liberty and justice for all. They're going out living their lives. Like, no one has a belief system about that would be against the presumption of innocence. And there's a lot of us that, are very sort of dyed in the wool, pro-liberty, and we have our mind made up. But a lot of people aren't sitting around thinking about what it means. So you can actually get them all to agree, here right now, sir, is my client guilty, innocent, or I don't know, innocent. So the first judgment they ever make in that case, with their voice and their words, they say innocent. Sir, what about you? Innocent, innocent, innocent. Now I've just got the entire jury panel saying my client's innocent. I like that.